In case it hasn't been increasingly clear, cartel tunnels are being dug all over San Diego. We've discovered around 100 of them so far. It's becoming a plague, and here's what led up to it. Somewhere around 10 to 12 million illegal immigrants came over during Joe Biden's sleepy administration. We also had Chinese and Russian nationals joining them for the ride. 60 Minutes, even 60 Minutes did a special on that one, so if that leftist outlet is reporting it, you know it was a problem. Then fentanyl poured in. The Biden administration saw drug addiction rise to an all-time high. Just as an example, here's the number of fentanyl seizures at the border in just 2024 alone. Around 2,200 incidents took place, resulting in seizures of around 31,000 pounds of what is some of the most lethal stuff we have ever dealt with. The Biden-Harris administration now, they couldn't be bothered to do anything about it. They just had better things to do. They couldn't even visit the border. They sure could, though. This is what they could do. They could go home to their gated communities and then tell us walls don't help anything while they protect themselves with armed guards, as they tell us guns are the cause of all evil. This is pretty much what they did while record numbers of Americans were getting addicted and dying. They could express their sympathy, though. They felt bad. They showed their sympathy by labeling any support for people with drug problems as harm reduction. It became a federal cause. It was their federal stamp, their solution. Essentially, it was providing those with drug problems with the proper paraphernalia, because when people have drug problems, give them the proper tools. That way they don't harm themselves while they get high. I mean, is this really a solution? Who in the right mind would ever think this actually solves anything? Just take a look at the streets of San Francisco today. The cartels now, they were just laughing. They rolled in. They set up drug dealing posts all across our country, using our very own freeways as a conduit to travel and set up shop wherever they pleased. And this is not an exaggeration, too. When we say all over America, we mean that according to our own DEA, the Sinoloa Cartel and the Jalisco New Generation Cartel have a presence in every single state of the United States and have caused the worst drug crisis in U.S. history. Every single state. This is not a small problem. Do we think people can dodge this? Maybe go live in the country and they'll be safe? Cartels don't care. We couldn't live in an area remote enough. Native American reservationists in Montana are a target, and so are the unfortunate people who live in areas nearby. Because with the rise of fentanyl, cartel associates have pushed more aggressively even into remote places like Montana, where pills can be sold for 20 times the price they get in urban centers closer to the border. And through all of this, the situation is only getting worse. Take a look at this map from the DEA. This is a map of cartel presence across our country 5 years before Kamala Harris decided to open up our border and make it a free-for-all. If it has orange in it, it's an area dominated by the Sinaloa Cartel. Blue tends to be Juarez influenced. Fast forward 5 years, and now even those 10 areas you see there are under influence. This is what happens when your president is asleep. Jill Biden takes over, and she feels sorry for the people. And I'm joking there, but it's probably true. Trump has come in and done a good job of cleaning up the mess now. I mean, his big, beautiful bill, if it actually does pass, will inject roughly $150 billion into his mass deportation agenda over the next 4 years. That's a fantastic thing. It will fund everything from an extension of the United States southern border wall to detention centers to thousands of additional law enforcement staff. $46.5 billion of that $150 will also go to what the House Homeland Security Committee calls an integrated border barrier system. This includes fencing, water barriers, law enforcement roads, and technology like movement sensors. 701 miles of the wall would also be completed, along with 900 miles of river barriers. This is all good news if, and that's a big if, the bill actually does pass. But now we have to deal with the ways in which cartels would try to dodge this whole process. And here's a big one. It's called tunnels. They're real. They're a huge problem. Since 1993, more than 95 tunnels have been found and decommissioned in San Diego. Just last week, we discovered a 3,000-foot-long tunnel stretching from Tijuana to San Diego. It literally started from somebody's home in Mexico. It's insane. The cover can be much better, too. SAN did a great job of exposing this tunnel in particular. Take a look at this.
Federal authorities say the tunnel, 50 feet underground, was used by gangs to smuggle drugs into the U.S. In a statement Wednesday, the acting chief border agent in San Diego said, as we continue to strengthen the nation's air and maritime border security, it's not surprising that foreign terrorist organizations would resort to underground routes. Disruption of narcotics smuggling tunnels is critical to protecting American lives. Authorities say the tunnel connects a home in Tijuana to a commercial warehouse in San Diego County, about 1,000 feet north of the border. The tunnel is 42 inches high and 28 inches wide, complete with lighting, vents, and a track system to move cargo, and is designed to accommodate large shipments of contraband. Border Patrol agents first discovered the tunnel in April when it was still under construction, but they didn't locate its point of origin until this week. Workers placed barricades to obstruct law enforcement efforts. Eventually, Mexican federal agents and California law enforcement officers accessed the tunnel after executing a search warrant, citing crime against national health, according to a post on X by Mexico's Secretary of Security and Civilian Protection. The Border Patrol reports the main access point to the tunnel in Tijuana had been hidden under a tile that had recently been placed over it. Mexico's security cabinet says it also seized a package filled with methamphetamine inside the tunnel.
Now, we're all a little paranoid now. How many more tunnels are there out there? Because even if we have discovered about 100 of them, it seems to imply that many more still exist. In the end, it's not what you know, it's what you don't know that kills you, and we simply don't know how many are out there. The next thing we wonder, just how effective can a border wall be? I mean, let's be honest. A border wall is necessary. We need to build it, but it only stops the casuals who are really trying not so hard to get in. Deadbolts on your door are similar. Sure, that Amazon delivery person can't just open up the door. We're safe from someone really not that motivated. But if a professional thief really wants to break in, he has a window to break all of 10 feet away. The border is a different story. On the border, we have different cartels who are motivated and determined to make money. They have coyotes who smuggle people in all types of ways. People are stuffed into the side of trucks. U-Hauls are filled. Boats are used around the San Diego coast. Saws are actually used on the wall, and tunnels are dug all over the place. This invasion is still continuing. As much as we want to praise a new wall, the reality is that it's not the main deterrent. Solid American legislation, while forcing other countries to deal with their own problems, is what really works. Trump proved it too during his first administration and now in this one. Trump got the federal government to care, and he got other nations to take care of their own problems. Here at home, Biden's border app was dismantled. People could no longer sign up to get in like they were making friends on Facebook. Customs and Border Patrol agents are generally now doing their jobs. Homeland Security has a clear vision. ICE has been patrolling the streets. The results so far have been really good. This is what happens when we actually have a president who takes control. The one thing, too, that Trump did that flew under the radar was deal effectively with other nations. He got Lopez Obrador to beef up his National Guard and send it to the border. He made sure foreigners who went to Mexico to cross our border had to claim asylum in Mexico first. Then he saw to it that those who were caught crossing here had to go back to Mexico and wait for legal processing down there. He did more of the same to governments in Central America. All in all, Trump had the most secure border we've seen during his first administration, and now he's doing the same things during this administration. Now, this isn't to say that he's perfect. Hey, we all have our bones to pick with our presidents. We're human after all, and we have two eyes, and we can see what's right in front of us. But criticism is just caring. When it comes to border control, Trump really is the general. This is where he excels. Future presidents could learn here. And he's established a pattern. He tries to get others to take care of their own business, get them to stop exploiting America. It's what he's doing right now with NATO as well. And it's working. Getting back to the tunnels, though, San Diego simply isn't safe. I know the cartel and Hamas are different things. I'm not going to say that's a direct analogy, but this whole tunnel exploitation thing has a very creepy Hamas vibe to it. The coast is easier to patrol now. Sneaky people underwater, that's not so efficient. We can put guards and cameras on the wall to help out. Technology can be used to our advantage. But when we have tunnels starting from someone's home in Tijuana that are dug all the way over here into someone else's home or wherever in San Diego, the situation gets surreal. This is difficult for anyone to detect. For now, let's hope our Congress does the right thing and gets the legislation that we want passed. We need the money to be allocated to our own borders. If we can send billions of dollars to Ukraine to protect their borders, then we can spend billions right here. All right, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you got here, appreciate it.